Axl Rose and Slash, two of the most iconic figures in rock history, the faces of Guns N' Roses, and the duo behind some of the most legendary songs in music. But what most people don't know is that behind the soaring guitars and unforgettable vocals was a tumultuous relationship that ultimately led to the band's downfall. Today, we're diving into the rise, the fall, and the eventual reconciliation of Axl Rose and Slash, and how their feud tore Guns N' Roses apart for years. The story begins in 1985 when Guns N' Roses was formed in Los Angeles. The early days were fueled by passion, raw talent, and a shared dream of conquering the rock world. Axl Rose, with his powerful voice and magnetic stage presence, instantly became the frontman that would define the band. Slash, with his top hat and masterful guitar work, brought a gritty edge that perfectly balanced Axl's unpredictable energy. Together with Izzy Stradlin, Duff McKagan, and Steven Adler, Guns N' Roses quickly became a sensation on the Sunset Strip. Their debut album, Appetite for Destruction *, released in 1987, was nothing short of revolutionary. It sold millions of copies and produced hits like Sweet Child O' Mine, Welcome to the Jungle, and Paradise City. This album didn't just make Guns N' Roses famous, it catapulted them to the very top of the rock world. Axl and Slash were hailed as one of the greatest frontman guitarist duos, drawing comparisons to Mick Jagger and Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones. But even as they were conquering the charts, tensions were already brewing. Axl's unpredictability was legendary. He was known for showing up hours late to concerts, engaging in long, rambling speeches during performances, and getting into fights with both band members and the audience. While Slash was more laid back, his growing frustration with Axl's erratic behavior began to create a divide. Still, the success of Appetite for Destruction kept the band together, and they quickly became one of the biggest rock acts in the world. In 1991, Guns N' Roses released their highly anticipated follow-up, Use Your Illusion I and II, a sprawling double album that showcased the band's growth and ambition. But behind the scenes, things were falling apart. Axl had become increasingly controlling, pushing the band in a more experimental direction that didn't always sit well with the other members, particularly Slash. While Slash wanted to stick to the raw, hard-hitting rock that made them famous, Axl was pushing for more elaborate productions, incorporating elements like piano, orchestras, and even synthesizers into the band's sound. The Use Your Illusion tour, which followed the release of the albums, became infamous for its chaos. Axl's lateness, combined with his confrontational behavior, led to riots in cities like St. Louis and Montreal. The other members of the band, especially Slash, were growing increasingly frustrated. The relationship between Axl and Slash was deteriorating rapidly, and it was clear that something had to give. By 1993, after the * Use Your Illusion tour ended, Guns N' Roses entered a period of inactivity. The band members were burnt out, and Axl's growing dominance over the band's direction was causing major rifts. While Axl was the undeniable leader, many in the band, particularly Slash, were becoming fed up with his demands. Axl had begun to take legal steps to secure ownership of the band's name, which further alienated the other members. Slash and Axl's relationship reached a breaking point in 1996. By this time, Slash had grown tired of Axl's unpredictable behavior and the constant power struggles within the band. He officially left Guns N' Roses, shocking fans but confirming what many had already suspected: Guns N' Roses, as the world knew it, was over. Axl continued to perform under the Guns N' Roses name with a new lineup of musicians, while Slash embarked on a successful solo career, as well as forming the supergroup Velvet Revolver. For over a decade, Axl and Slash had little to no contact. The bitterness between them was palpable, and both musicians made public statements that suggested there was no chance of reconciliation. Axl, in particular, was notoriously harsh in his comments about Slash. In one infamous interview, Axl referred to Slash as a cancer that had to be removed for the band to survive. Slash, meanwhile, was more reserved in his criticism but often spoke about the difficulties of working with someone as volatile as Axl. During this period, Axl continued to work on what would become Chinese Democracy *, an album that took over a decade to complete and became infamous for its numerous delays. When it was finally released in 2008, it received mixed reviews. While it wasn't a commercial failure, it was clear that Guns N' Roses without Slash and the other original members was not the same band that had captivated the world in the late 80s and early 90s. Meanwhile, Slash continued to build a successful solo career, releasing albums under his own name and collaborating with a variety of artists. His work with Velvet Revolver, which included former Guns N' Roses members Duff McKagan and Matt Sorum, was well received, and the band enjoyed a period of success in the mid-2000s. However, fans of Guns N' Roses continued to hope for a reunion, despite the ongoing feud between Axl and Slash. Then, in 2015, something remarkable happened. After nearly 2 decades of hostility, rumors began to circulate that Axl and Slash had made peace. Fans were skeptical. After all, this was a feud that had lasted almost 20 years. But in 2016, the impossible became reality. Axl and Slash reunited for the Not in This Lifetime tour, bringing Duff McKagan along with them. The tour was a massive success, grossing hundreds of millions of dollars and proving that the magic of Guns N' Roses wasn't gone, it had just been on hold. While the exact details of how Axl and Slash reconciled have never been fully revealed, both have spoken about how time and maturity helped them move past their differences. In interviews, Slash has said that reconnecting with Axl felt natural and that the bitterness of the past had faded. Axl, for his part, has been more guarded but has acknowledged that the reunion was a chance to move forward and make peace with the band's history. The reunion didn't just bring Guns N' Roses back to the stage, it re-established them as one of the biggest bands in the world. Fans, both old and new, flocked to see Axl, Slash, and Duff perform the hits that defined a generation. The Not in This Lifetime tour became one of the highest-grossing tours of all time, and the band continued to perform together in the years that followed. So, what can we learn from the feud between Axl Rose and Slash? At its core, it's a story of creative differences, ego, and the pressures of fame. But it's also a story of redemption, proof that even the most bitter of feuds can be resolved with time. Axl and Slash's story is one of the greatest in rock history, not just because of the music they created, but because of the trials they endured along the way. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think? Could Guns N' Roses have been even bigger if Axl and Slash had stayed together? Or was the split inevitable, given their different personalities and creative visions? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of rock's most notorious feuds, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Asterisk Timelines Unlocked for more stories about the rise, fall, and redemption of your favorite celebrities. Thanks for watching.